Scalpel Ref may be here. Welcome back to my anime reviews. Basically, every week I will try to rewatch or watch an anime and then review it for you guys. Like I've said, anime like One Piece, Bleach, and Fairy Tail and such will probably not be reviewed because they take me way too long to watch the whole series, get into the story, and I don't want to do that, so that's not going to happen. The reason why you haven't seen some reviews in the past few weeks is because I've just been lazy. I'll be honest, I haven't wanted to, really. I've just been chilling, but I have a lot of stuff planned for the summer. I'm going to start working on it really hard, and hopefully you'll get some bigger videos in the near future, so let's get straight to the review. Today we are reviewing an anime that I originally read the manga for, and after finding out that there was an anime happening, I went crazy. This anime literally ended the day I'm recording this video, which is the Friday it ended. I think it's the 17th of June, 2016. Literally ended today. This week is Big Order, from the person who created Mirai Nikki, the Future Diary, to some people. This anime also has a lot to hold up to. As of right now, there is no English dub, and it's only 10 episodes of an anime. I know it's really short, but let's get to it. Also, if it looks really dark in my room, it's because there's not much daylight right now, and my roof light is pooped. That's all I really have to light up. I'm using my phone light in a angle so that it lights up the area around me, so that it looks a bit better. I could have done this review without camera and just as normal pictures, but I'd rather do camera. This is more fun for me. But yeah, let's get straight to it. Like usual, I will only be explaining the most important points of this anime, like the characters, story, relationships, settings, voice acting, animations, music, and the genre. And we always start with the genre here. It's a supernatural dystopian anime. Lots of action, a bit of drama here and there, and a little bit of ecchi. More or less, they do censor it. But if it wasn't censored, definitely would be ecchi hentai-ish. No sex though. Wait. No sex though. Now for the setting. The setting is a basically post-apocalyptic Japan and world, I guess if you can get it, but the main focus is in Japan, where some people who met with something like a angel who granted their most desired wish and gave these people the power to realize that wish, called orders, which are powers that are directly related to their wish, but are broad so they can help with a lot of other things. For example, one person wishes for the power to save lives and revive people, which she gets, which also revives her, but can only revive people in a certain amount of time after death, and as long as they have a part of their body. Otherwise, it won't work. So there is an upside and a downside to keep them balanced. These orders weren't always around though. These orders started showing up when the anime calls the Great Destruction occurs that destroyed a large amount of the world. That's when orders started manifesting in people whose strong will to fulfill their wishes were given power to do so. Now for the characters, we're only going to be talking about 4 today. I'll speed it up since the story is more important. First is Eiji Hoshimi. He is our main character of the series, with not much being special about him other than one thing: his devotion to Senna, his younger sister. No matter what situation, if it's to save or help Senna, he will do anything, whether it's plausible or not, whether if it's logical or not. He'll do anything as long as it's for Senna, or the well-being of Senna. But that's also his weakness. His devotion to Senna blinds him in many situations that lead to him to end up in danger a lot, as well as if anything happens to Senna, or if Senna thinks of him badly in any sort, shape, or form, his will is completely crushed. Yeah, his whole character is based off of another person. His order is called the Bind Dominator, or as they pronounce it, Bind Dominator. Its ability lets Eiji be able to control and bend the will of anyone in his domain that extends the more distance he covers. So basically, wherever he goes is his domain. Second is Rin Kurenai. She is our love interest for the show, as well as being the character that keeps the show structured and controlled of some sort. Her whole character is based off the fact that she hates Eiji and wants to kill him really badly. Why? Because during the Great Destruction, or because of the Great Destruction, her parents died and got killed, and now she vows for revenge. Her order is Rebirth Fire. Its ability is the one I actually talked about before, basically super ultra healing with limitations. Third is Senna Hoshimi. She is Eiji's sick, hospitalized sister that he will do anything for. Nothing much to say about her, honestly, other than she's a kind and sweet little sister character for now. Fourth is Yoshitsune Hiragi, the leader of the group of 10, and is someone who will do anything in his power to get what he wants. His real intentions are unknown, but he says he wants to take over Japan and help cure Senna's illness by finding a cure with the help of Eiji. His ability is fact to fiction, and he can alter reality by calling events fiction, and then it gets deleted from the world and it technically never happened, and he can create events by calling them facts. It has very limited range though, and can only be done to events that happened in a certain amount of time after they happened, making the skill very powerful, very powerful, but only in close range, and only if he gets there in time. Now for the story. It is as follows. Eiji was the original order, the first to ever exist, whose wish was to dominate the world, causing the great destruction. Originally, he was hiding in plain sight, living a normal life with his hospitalized sister, until he was found out, and then captured by the group known as the Group of 10, and are ordered to help them dominate Japan in exchange for a way to cure Senna's illness. He accepts without much thought because Senna only has 6 months to live, and that's the plot. Although there are more secrets than what meets the eye right now, but of course I'm not going to say them for spoiler reasons. Now for the animations. They were really good, to be honest, and I was genuinely surprised. They kept to the style of the manga, while still having an actual feel of animation with alive characters. Sometimes some anime miss this when being adapted because they want to look appealing as possible, or try to be as close to the manga as possible, but I think this was a step in the right direction. I really liked them. Now for the voice actors. I honestly would have picked someone else for Eiji. I didn't think his voice actor really fit this character, but as far as the best voice actor in this anime is, it's definitely Rin's. Hers fits her character the most out of most anime I've ever watched. It's pretty accurate to what I hoped she would sound like. The others fit who they played but weren't super special, but I still think that they were overall okay, except for Eiji. Now for the music. The opening, known as Disorder, was hella rad. It really fit the style of the show and had a very Mirai Nikki feel to it, which I think is great, but I think this opening was much better than Mirai Nikki's. IMO. I'm not gonna throw salt in anyone's wounds, but I do think this was better. The ending was meh to me, but the background music was hella good. Hella good. Now for the rating part of these reviews. As a rating, I will split up into 5 different categories: the voice acting, animation, story, characters, and overall enjoyability. And we always start with the voice acting here, 17 out of 20. Like I said before, I would have casted a better voice actor for Eiji. His voice actor wasn't very good, IMO. Everyone else was fantastic though, but most of this show is hearing Eiji's voice. It's very important that they were to get a good voice actor for him, and they didn't, so I was kind of disappointed. Animations, 20 out of 20. I really liked them. They followed the same art style for the manga, while still making it really alive and more like an anime. Unlike some series, cough cough, Attack on Titan, cough cough, they were really good. They did what I wanted. Try to keep a balance between trying to keep to the same, like, the original material, while also trying to make it actually good like an anime should, with the quality an anime should have. It was really good. Story, 15 out of 20. Now, the concept of the show is really good. I think it's much better than Mirai Nikki, in my own opinion. The problem wasn't with the story that we were shown. It was with the story that we weren't shown. There's this one part in the manga where we are shown the background info on specific people with orders, that how they were messed with and experimented with by the main villain, and they didn't show that at all. Another thing they didn't show was, like, completely condensed. The main villain's reason and his whole backstory and his reason for wanting to do all of the things he did and all the evil shit he did, they didn't show it all. They showed a very condensed version. They left a lot out, and it made me really angry. It specifically ruins the main villain and makes him very hard to like as a character. Characters, 10 out of 20. Eiji is a hard character to like in this show. His whole character is based off his little sister and his devotion to her, and frankly, that's kinda boring. But he does get retribution at the end of the show, albeit still for his sister, but it was still epic. Rin is also kind of a difficult character to like as well, since she tries to kill Eiji, our main character, all of the time, which sometimes gets redundant and annoying, as well as obviously being in love with him. But at the end of the show, she also gets her retribution in a much better way than Eiji does, so it's really cool. What I'm not happy about is the show's villain. He was undermined because of the show cutting down his backstory, making his reason for wanting to destroy the world make less sense, as well as how he found out about orders before they existed make even more less sense, and right after he's defeated, he sees the error of his ways, and it's very unsatisfying, because you don't really care, because he was just an unlikable character from the beginning, and all you see is him apologizing, and you're just like, I don't care. This show only had 10 episodes. They could have given him his own complete episodes and did 11 episodes. It would have been completely fine. There's enough material there. But no! Apparently it's not important and we can just cut it out. It is important. It was important. And you ruined it. Enjoyability, 13 out of 20. This show was cringy sometimes. There were a few sexual scenes that never existed in the manga that they added in. Some were okay for the situation, and some made no real sense. One of them, for instance, happens, completely blows my head into confusion, and then the anime ends up completely decides to pretend that whole idea never existed, and it was just something that never happened, even though when it was introduced as a thing, it completely made so many things more complicated, and then the ending just decides to pretend it never happened, and it kind of made the whole scene really pointless. And honestly, this show was kind of rushed, in my opinion. They sped through so much of the manga that they actually finished the whole first part of the series, and it ended in a way that if they didn't get a second season, it would be okay. I don't like how they really rushed it, especially because they've basically caught up to what has been Englishly translated, like by illegal translators, of course, but the amount that's translated is what is in the anime, except for the last episode, because the last episode is very different. I didn't like how they rushed it, but I did like how they completely made the ending different from the manga. So if they were to make a second season, I know how they would do it, where they could go back to how the manga flowed in a very smart and cliche but understandable way. And if they didn't and just kept this as one show, one series, one season, I'd be really okay with it. And I'm happy with that. Overall score, 75 out of 100, 75%. Things could have gone way better. If they had more than 10 episodes, I think this could have been a really, really good anime. At B grade for this anime, I hope you enjoyed the video. In the description, there should be a link to watch it on Crunchyroll. Thank you guys for watching. Scotty PF may be out. See you guys next time.